It's your favorite YouTuber, guys, DSLM Finance, financial educating you guys to freedom for the beginners by a former beginner every Sunday at 3 p.m. An excellent way to find winning stocks is by actually investing in stocks before they break out. This can make you a lot of money and relatively quickly too. It's even a tactic I like to use, guys. I find myself using this time and time again. So I'm going to be talking about what a breakout stock actually is and more importantly, how to find one. All of that and more I'm going to discuss in this video, guys, so you can find some winning stocks for yourselves. But before we get into it, guys, do me a favor, leave a like down below and subscribe with notification bell on if you haven't already. And oh yeah, follow me on my social media platforms too, all in the description box. Now, in the London Stock Exchange, you have stocks ranked according to their size, i.e. their market cap, which is basically how much investors are willing to put into them at any given time. So the higher the market cap, the bigger that stock is, generally speaking. And each of those groups that each stock may fall in is called a stock index, indices for plural, with the highest ranked stocks in the London Stock Exchange being the FTSE 100. And so what a breakout actually is when a stock goes from a lower index to a higher stock index. So you guys can have stocks that go from the FTSE 250 to the FTSE 100, or maybe the FTSE 350 or FTSE 250, and so on. I myself was able to find one of the stocks that I currently own now using this method. You see, when a stock is going from a lower index to a higher one, what generally gets associated with this is a price increase. Yes, that means more opportunity for you guys to make some money. This is why breakouts can be very lucrative ways to invest. You see, this graph that I'm going to show you guys is the effect that a breakout had on JD Sports fashion stocks in particular, which is actually the stock I managed to find before it broke out. You see, I bought my very first shares at around £4.75p per share when it was in the FTSE 250 around April last year, and it rose all the way up to a record of £8.90. So that means if I sold it at £8.90, then I would have made at least 87% pure profits just during those months. And even though there is a huge dip afterwards that you can see on this graph, don't be alarmed, guys, because this is actually due to the whole coronavirus pandemic. So this isn't an isolated occurrence. You'll see similar dips to all stocks worldwide. But even with that said, at this current time of recording, guys, the current trading price for JD Sports fashion stocks, if you wanted to buy it, would be £6.70 per share. So as you can see, with breakout stocks, you can make some serious money, but also there's an art to finding them, because not every stock in the stock market is a breakout stock. There's very selected few. But before I tell you guys how to do that, I want to stress that in no way do these points that I'm going to raise with you guys later on in this video substitute for the amount of research you guys need to do. So the rest of the hard work, the rest of the research you guys have to put in, reading the financial documents, reading the reports, understanding where the company's going. All of that stuff you guys still need to look at. No lazy days. So with a breakout stocks, there are two things that I look at. One, the stock has to be undervalued. This allows it the room, the potential to gain in value, which is basically what happens in a breakout. And two, you will eventually need the public to jump on the wave too. You need them to realize that that stock is a good stock to invest in, but after you invest in it. And with those being the things that I look for, the way I find whether a stock fulfills that criteria or not is by looking at these two things. One, the P ratio. Now this heavily correlates with 0.1 on the things to look at as well. So find out whether the stock is undervalued, because the lower the P ratio, the more undervalued that the stock is going to be. You want to find super undervalued stocks. When I looked for JD stocks before they broke out into FTSE 100, it actually had a P ratio of 10. Now it's in the FTSE 100, it's got a P ratio of 25, guys. You do the maths. That is some serious undervalued purchase right there. And so I knew that a lot of people were sleeping on this stock. It was just a matter of time before they woke up and realized how good of an investment it was. to the market cap. Now this actually answers the second point, the second thing that I like to look for breakout stocks. You know, where I mentioned that you rely on the public, to invest in that stock too. And the reason is because the market cap actually tells you the rough market value for that stock for its outstanding shares multiplied by the share price. And this relates quite well with the publicity of that stock too. Therefore, the higher the market cap for a stock, the more publicity is probably going to get because more investors know about it. And also the higher of a stock index is likely to fall into. And so I use the market cap to help me determine whether a stock is going to break out or not. For example, I know that stocks that fall into the FTSE 100 tend to have a market cap of 4.6 billion or more. And then the FTSE 250 stocks have a market cap lower than that, generally speaking. So if I wanted to find a stock that broke out from FTSE 250 to FTSE 100, I would find a good stock to invest in that has a market cap lower than 4.6 billion pounds. But yet has still a reasonable amount of room to grow into that higher FTSE 100 stock index. And so it's these two parameters that I use to determine whether a stock is going to actually break out or not. Because believe it or not, you can actually have false breakouts, guys. You can have stocks that break out one moment into a higher stock index, and then a few months later, let's say for example, they can fall back down into the original stock index that they went from. The way that you ensure your breakout is a true breakout is by making sure you do the groundwork. You need to ensure that it's a good stock first before it's a breakout. The breakout is just a bonus on top. If you guys want to find out more about how I find good stocks to invest in, then click on the link here. It will really help you to answer that question. But before I wrap things up, you guys know what you need to do. Leave a like, subscribe with notification bell on, and follow me on all of my social media platforms down below. It's your favorite YouTuber, guys. DS Learning Finance, financially educating you guys to freedom. For the beginners, by for the beginner, every Sunday at 3 p.m. Bye, guys. DS Learning Finance.
Whoa.